So, listen, we find inspiration in a lot of places. I found inspiration for my business from my son's 2005 Little League team, the New York Cubans. See, the Cubans had the worst record of the season. They literally lost every single game. But like any good sports metaphor, they won the championship, right? But the incredible thing about the Cubans was the way that they won. See, they had a coach who believed in them, and he taught them to believe in themselves. So after every single loss of the season, he would pull them together, and he would say, hey, don't worry about this loss. This is just practice for the playoffs. See, at the playoffs, everybody gets a clean slate. Everybody's 0 and 0. So right now, during the season, we're going to work on the fundamentals. So they learn to run, to catch, to pitch, to hit during the season. So fast forward to the playoffs, and they had to go through the undefeated Black Yankees. 3 runs scored. The Yankees had 1, the Cubans had 2. So the Cubans win, right? But that's not the championship. So when they get to the championship game, they had to play the Cleveland Browns. And the Cleveland Browns, they were the champs for the 2 years in a row in this tournament. So now the coach pulls them back together and says, okay, everything that we've been practicing in the season, now's the time. I want you to swing and hit every ball that comes your way. Just connect. Because if you connect, it's going to go in the field. You're going to get movement. These are 8 or 9-year-old kids. When you get movement, we got a chance to win. So those kids looked like they were playing tennis. Was playing golf. I think they even did some backhands. But they hit the ball. And not only did they win the game, they won by a slaughter rule. Now, for those of you who might not know what a slaughter rule is, it's what they put in Little League Baseball when one team is beating another team so badly that it's impossible for them to come back and win, but they want the kids to walk off with some dignity. So the Cubans win, and the reason that's important to us, because I'm going to venture to guess that it's some of you out here like me, that the first season of your life you worked for somebody else. You had to help build their business, but we were learning the fundamentals. See, you learned how to do bookkeeping. You learned how to treat customers. You learned how to manage people and projects. You learned how to come up with a solution when there was no solution for somebody else's business. But that's okay. See, we're entrepreneurs in here now. So I know we're all in the playoffs. Now it's time to play to win. All the things that you learned in that first season, now it's time to put them in play. You gotta swing, and we're gonna win. So when it seems insurmountable, you know, you just keep swinging. Just keep swinging. When you don't have your money, when you don't know how you're gonna make it, you just keep swinging. And the reason why I want you guys to remember the Cubans, because the Cubans win. And if you know that if you stay in the game, you keep swinging, you know you win, right? Yeah. So I'll tell you about myself and I'll answer your questions. But if you forget everything we talked about today, I want you to remember the Cubans. Because the Cubans win, and so do you. So my name, as he mentioned, is Catherine Jackson, and I'm the owner of Deja Hue. And Deja Hue, if we can paint it, so can you. If you haven't figured out by now, you gotta have a way to make people remember who you are. I started Deja Hue in 2015, and I took a little non-traditional route. I didn't follow my passion. I went to a paint party on my birthday, and I went up north to do it. And I looked around, and everyone was having a great time, and I was like, wow, we could use this on the south side. Because see, we had to travel up north. I took about 20 of my people, and we went up north, and we paid for those people's business. And as I started doing my studies and going to different paint parties, several of their parties were 80% African American. And I know the city. I know we didn't all live there, right? So I said, there's an opportunity here. The thing is, I'm not an artist. I didn't have one artistic bone in my body when I started Deja Hue in 2015. and I'm kind of a jumper, you know, so I saw the business. I looked around to see what it took to run it. I didn't have any money, but I had a decent credit, and I had a loose credit card. And just like Spike Lee, I went about everything that you needed to, you know, to set up. And after that, I joined a business class, something like this. It's called the Arise program. And during that class, they take you through and you end up with a business plan. And the first thing they told me was that I had to know every aspect of my business, right? But I thought I found a loophole. I said, well, in corporate America, they taught me get a subject matter expert. Mm-hmm. So I hired some artists. Well, as long as I got an artist, I can run the business. Mm-hmm. Well, that worked out well until one day the artist got a wires crossed, and I had 22 people kind of like y'all sitting there waiting on me, and they was drunk with wine. And they sitting there looking at me like, okay, artist, go. I called on God. and every paint party that I went through, still in this season, you learn the fundamentals. Now, I wasn't a practicing artist, but I sat through and I hosted all the classes, so I had to remember what these artists said. I had a lot of good stuff to say because I knew what they said. But long story short, the party came out well. The pictures were awesome. I became a trained artist in 2 hours. Wow. And ever since then, I have learned to paint every painting in my studio. So even my artists always, I still hire artists because I don't really want to be an artist. But if they don't show up, I step up, and I have several times to paint it. So you do need to know every aspect of your business. So that lesson was learned. But that's enough about me. I want to hear about y'all. I like some of the businesses that you guys talked about, and I'd like to answer your questions and share any knowledge that I can help you with. Well, if you don't ask me questions, I got a lot of stories. I keep talking.
So where did you start before you got your physical location? Were you like a mobile person?
I was. Good question. And that's one of the things that we teach in the entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship program that I graduated from, I'm now a mentor there. And what we like to teach people is you don't have to start off in debt. You can make a profit on every single sale.
That's right.
So what you want to do is wait until you get a big order and then make them pay a deposit. And then you go and buy the stuff that you need. So I started, my birthday's in March. We opened in October as mobile. But I had a place on 86 in Stony Island where they sublet me on Saturdays. And so we were able on Saturdays from 4 to 7, we had a set time, but then we also traveled to different locations. But from that, we kept getting requests for days that we didn't have a location, and so we didn't want to leave that business on the table. So big leap of faith. From October to January, we opened up our physical location, 10505 South Western Avenue. Yes. We opened our physical location the following January, and we've been there ever since. But no, I don't recommend if you don't know if your revenue stream does not support physical location, just like what they did, start where you are. Yeah. Start. You don't have. I'm proof that you don't have to know everything about opening your business to open it. Just start, and it's amazing. Once you make a move, you get that movement going, and you know the resources come, the opportunities come.
Yeah. Sandria, oh yeah.
A little bit similar. Like, what were you doing before you started this business? So, were you working in corporate? Were you already in that mind frame, like, I want to transition out of this job, and so you were able to spot that opportunity because you were already ready for it? Where were you at in your life at that time?
So I got a couple of answers to that. Number one, I read somewhere where, you know, they always say opportunity only knocks once or twice or something like that. But it's probably Rich Dad Poor Dad, but in one of those books, it said opportunity is around us all the time. You just have to open your eyes to see it. And when I read that, it resonated with me. Number one, because I've always been entrepreneur-minded. I had several businesses. I could run the list down to you. But my background is also in HR, so I know how to run a business. When I found that business, I wasn't looking for it at all. As a matter of fact, I'll be transparent. It was my 49th birthday, and I decided to celebrate my 40s instead of 50. And look what happened. I went to my birthday party. That business literally was born that day in my head.
Wow.
And it came to fruition 6 months later. So, but I've always had a heart for entrepreneurship. I kept my job. I actually, because somebody asked about working your job, I actually worked my job. I was a full-time recruiting consultant for Cushman & Wakefield for the last 3 years. While for 2 of those years, I was working that job full-time and running the business full-time. But then, to the answer to the question, when do you quit? It's personal. You'll figure it out. So the honest God truth is, I wanted to quit. I worked from home 100%, and I didn't want to go to work. So I'd be like, how do you not want to go to your dining room table? But that's how I felt about the job, and so I stayed with it though because my girlfriend and I called it paper crack. That money, that's paper crack. See, you make just enough. They pay you enough for you to keep coming back, and enough for you not to quit, even though you hate it. That's paper crack.
I love that. Yeah, me too.
So I was on the paper crack, but then they laid me off, and then I decided not to get another job. And I'm glad y'all got hands. So I'm gonna tell you real quick. I didn't get another job, but what I had to do was downsize my life, and I wished while I was working that job that I had saved my money like everybody tells you to. But that's not what I did, but I downsized. As a matter of fact, I got relatives staying with me this weekend, and they came in like, what's the Wi-Fi code? I was like, no, I got a hotspot. I don't need no Wi-Fi. So, they are going through withdrawals right now. They can't get on the internet. They like, well, what do we do? Let's play a game.
Go to Starbucks.
Right. So, okay, next
Jay.
question.
Okay,
And then,
so when it comes to you being, so you are by trade or by education an HR subject matter expert, like, so when it comes to starting a business in your subject matter expertise, where it's like I'm a cybersecurity professional, and I know I can do it on my own. I don't want to wait till 20 years for me to finally go out and do it. Right. I know I can do it now. I think I need a little more confidence, and so I'll be an employee for a little bit longer. But when it comes to stepping out and starting your own firm, consulting firm, like, so for HR, had it ever crossed your mind to do it, like, on your own? Because you could,
I didn't love HR.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say, 'cause we need you.
I did, but I got a lot of friends in HR. So, but then he also asked the question, who's still working a part-time job? Now, I quit for 2 years and I didn't work. And I told the Lord, I was like, if you want me to work, a job need to land in my lap, because, I don't know I don't have a wife. So,
right.
I'm the only income. And so I downsized my life. Fortunately, my son graduated from college, so he out of my pocket, kind of. So it's just me, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going down swinging. If I lose the house, all that stuff. But I'm free. Mm-hmm. And so then the Lord, after 2 years of being, or a year and a half, I lose time. A year and a half or so after working just the business, and it was tight because that business at the time, it was profitable, but HR paid pretty decent, so I was used to a little different lifestyle. But somebody called, a friend of mine who I worked with years ago, she called bottom line. I was literally laying in the bed. She was like, are you doing anything in recruiting? I need some help. And I said, well, I guess this is in my lap. Right? So in March of this year, I started consulting for her non-for-profit as a recruiter, which is what I did. And I've tried to quit twice. The first time they had me coming downtown every day. Now, even when I worked at Cushman & Wakefield, I worked from home. I had to go downtown every day. This is stressful.
Right.
Can't do this. And so I was like, thank you, but I'm gonna have to quit. No. We just wanted you to get to know everybody. Now you can work from home.
You can work from home.
And I'm like, okay, but then you work from home. They got you on instant message, so they know whether you're working. And I went back. I said, you know what? I'm running a business. She knows this. This is a friend of mine. I'm like, I'm running my business. I can't be on corporate time because I have to meet with people and do things. And so I'm gonna have to let this go. Oh, no. Work however you need to work.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I am still there. As a matter of fact, I actually tried to quit last week. I went and I told them because I hired 2 HR people that was short in HR. And so now we've got the 2 HR people hired and one of them is supposed to handle staffing. So I said, okay, now they on board, like what's going on with the contract, you know, y'all gonna turn it over. And the 2 HR people both look like, I was like, they say, we got some more coming down the pipe, which I don't even know what that is. Literally right now, I got 2 jobs I'm working on for them, and they still paying me a full fee. So,
Well, so that's a
Look at
gift
God.
right there.
That's
Right?
a
That's a gift.
but what I'm gonna tell you what I have learned when I cut my lifestyle short. This is hopefully helpful to you. And I took a loan through PayPal. Because you know,
They
if you
give you
do
loans.
PayPal, they give you loans, and then you say you'll pay back for a certain percentage. And what I found out from PayPal is that they gonna take their percentage no matter what. Every single time you get paid, they gonna take their money. And I was able to pay back a $3,000 loan to them in like 4 or 5 months because they took their percentage no matter what. And I realized that I was being emotional about my money. You know, I was sitting there thinking, well, this is due and that is due and this is due. But you know what? PayPal didn't care.
Right.
They took their money. So when that loan ended, I picked it up for myself.
Yep.
And I started putting that money away. And then it started teaching me to save. I've heard all my life, save. I knew all of it. I can tell you all of it, but I wasn't practicing it.
Right.
But now I do. And it has made a huge difference in the business. And I heard you guys talking about the slow season. My slow season is the summertime. And a lot of people are surprised. They're like, oh, no, y'all like to go to the beach and to the park and to the barbecues. Y'all won't come inside. I tell them I got air. So I use that time to go to the beach, to the concerts with y'all too. And y'all see these flyers. I'm never without them. Right? You saw me at the event the other day. I had to leave early. I'm like, before I go, I'm going to need to pass these out. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to give you some. Any other questions? Questions?
Is this your personal baby, or are you going to franchise out eventually?
So I think that calling our businesses babies is a wrong thing to do because we get too attached to it emotionally. Just like I was emotionally attached to all the people trying to get money out of my pocket for bills and I didn't save none for me. No, if you know what, if they offer me some good money for my business, I would love to send it out. But I'm doing some different things that are not quite out there yet. But no, this is not the only thing that I do. What I do love is business. You know, my artists, I have a lot of artists that work for me. They love art. You know, they love to just do it for the love of art. I want to get paid. And so I coach them on how to use their natural gifts to get paid. So now I'm currently transitioning to speaker and coach since I've been coaching people for free. You know, and I would do it for free all my life because I love helping entrepreneurs. So I parlayed it into speaking and coaching. And so that's the transition that I'm going into. And just a little tip, whatever business you're in, when you speak, you get recognition. People know your business. Now people can come to you. It doesn't matter what your business. If you're a marketing professional and you speak and they like what you say, they'll come up to you afterwards. So you can get more exposure and you can build your revenue base by speaking in front of crowds. Just FYI.
Mike, did you have a question?
No, I was looking at a background. Honeywell, I was gonna ask you, you said HR. I thought you was into HVAC.
Oh, no, I'm not into HVAC, but I know all about it. I worked there for 4 years. I loved Honeywell. When I worked for corporate, it was a great company.
Yeah, I just come on.
Any more questions? Go ahead, JD.
I want to know why you didn't want to do it. So you didn't love HR. So that's why you didn't find it interesting. It wasn't an interest for you to pursue that
As a business?
as a business, but now you're consulting doing it. So you could be doing that.
No, I don't do HR as consulting. I help budding entrepreneurs.
Well, no, you said that to whom your friend who got you this part-time job that you know.
Oh, as a recruiter?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know it fell in my lap. I made a deal with the Lord. He threw it in my lap. So this is a contract. It's short term, short lived, but it was a blessing because it infused some cash into my life that I needed. But in terms of long term vision, it's not even that long, you know. So yeah,
Right.
Have you found certain other businesses that could serve as strategic partnerships that bring synergy? Like, okay, you got the Sip and Paint, but there's like some other business that they could do this and Sip and Paint, you know, kind of like from a package standpoint. Have you been able to package your offering?
I did, yes. I actually did do that for a couple of times. Like I was trying to build up the summertime. So I partnered with Flavors Restaurant out in Richmond Park.
Oh yeah, I know.
The one in Richmond Park, because they had the patio, so we did painting on the patio in the summertime, so we were able to bring some people in that way. I used to work with Chili's, you know, on we used to have painting on Tuesdays.
Studio movie girl.
Yeah, painting on Tuesday, and then 87th Street Movie Theater.
Okay.
We used to do paint parties with them. So I'm always open to partnerships. And then as I branch into my new business, what I've found is that I have a studio, and we paint on the weekends for the most part, you know, because we don't go out on the school night. So my studio's sitting there Monday through Thursday. So I'm working on some opportunities. I heard some businesses in here. So if people need a place to
like smoke, sip, and paint. Like
you can't smoke inside the building.
Oh, you can't smoke.
Come January.
Come
Not
January.
inside the buildings.
No.
Not inside the building.
Well, smoke edibles,
Like
smoke and
cigarettes,
paint.
you can't smoke
But maybe at
cigarettes.
another location we could partner. At another
And
location.
offsite, and I've done them offsite.
Smoke
I
and paint.
this I used to do in people's homes. I don't anymore.
Hey guys,
Yeah, custom.
What'd you say? I'm
I
sorry.
used to do it in people's homes. I don't anymore.
No, it might be an
I put
opportunity
it
for
over the
Katani
Yeah.
Life, and we, you know, because we
I'm not
looking for a
against that.
strategic partnership from a revenue generation where we can have a certain set of expected income based on these strategic partnerships. So, the add value is when Katani Life is about a lifestyle. So you can smoke and paint, you can smoke and drive, you can, you know, you can just smoke, chew
You can just
gum.
smoke.
Yeah, so it's smoke and
Painters be like,
you know, that doesn't, it's really,
Actually, we got a
it's
guy
really-
going through our Rise program where we mentored, and I think he's gonna win. He certifies. He does the training
oh, for the cannabis
for
workers?
the cannabis
Yeah,
training.
yeah, yeah.
And boy, this dude, he's like made $30,000 in a couple of months
Oh,
with
it's
the
easy.
training.
Yeah, it's
So-
so, right now. But I
And
think
he's
that's,
super
that's
sharp.
a
When
great
he talked out, I was thinking y'all might need to meet.
Yeah, but that's a recreation.
And that's what I do. I do connect people.
How do you like develop those partnerships? Like, how do you start? You just contact the people and
You know what? Business people are open to an opportunity. So as you talk with people, like I can tell you it's various in the incubator stage, but I'm getting ready to put together a program where you can come and talk to people who can coach in certain areas. So through my network, and my coaches, they put me in touch with really top-notch people, and I talked to them. We were in Atlanta, and I met with a lot of them, and I said, hey, I'm thinking of putting together a program. They're not local, but, you know, Zoom, we can bring you in via video, and man, I shared that. I was like, I got a studio, I need to do something with it, and, you know, I can't even hold them off right now. I'm like, okay, let me write the program. Yeah. So business people are always open, and the key is don't be afraid to ask.
get that money.
right.
But it's kind of like I share with you guys, when you have your own business, when you have your own building, right? What have I said? It's like you can now do whatever you want to do, right? So, Jay, did I tell you about that girl? All right. So when you have your own building, like she said, we paint on the weekends. Now she can monetize Monday through Friday. But Friday's the weekend. Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
All right, she can monetize that. And so now you're monetizing that on Monday to Thursday, painting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, now you're making money 7 days a week.
Baby showers and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we tried it. The challenge with that is, again, we only do weekends.
Okay,
So when
Right,
people ask me
yeah.
about renting my studio for the weekend, I have to rent it out to what I would make on a private party. So
Exactly.
that usually doesn't work out too well.
Exactly, yeah, that's not.
But if someone has like a class, like I got a girl through the Arise program that she wants to educate about plant-based eating. So, you know, we can bring people in with plant-based eating. Now, that has nothing to do with my business. But number one, when they come in and see all the paintings on the wall, I know I got some customers.
Come on.
Right.
You know, but it helps boost her business and those people who are interested in it. So we might have some plant-based food and painting and, you know, and with everything in my business, just BYOB, whatever you want to drink. Water, whiskey, wine, coffee, tea. We don't make you drink, but we don't judge if you do.
All right, any more questions?
I would like to pass this out, though. I do offer for you guys, pass a few of them out. Between now and the end of the year, if you wanted to have a free coaching session, pro bono, 20 minutes, I would be glad to talk with you guys. I have a list of 10 things you know you're doing. If you're doing any 3 of these 10 things, you know you need a coach. And that's the other thing I would encourage. You guys got a coach here, and he's moving you through and getting you to launch your business. At some point, you're going to need another coach to move you to the next level. Now, I'm not saying you have to pay for a coach. If you know somebody in the industry and you can partner with them and they're willing to help train you, then that's one way to go. You can pay a coach to help train you, and that's another way to go. But if you can't afford that, do what I did before I could afford a coach. I went to YouTube University. You know, but you will need to seek out knowledge. You will need to read. You will need a coach, because you need somebody that's not going to be a yes person. That's going to tell you everything that you want to hear good. Because my challenge, why I had to get a coach in my circles, I have a business, and they like, oh yeah, you're doing good, and it's a fun business, people like it, so my people think I made it, they think I've arrived, and so I don't have anybody I can bounce off like, well, how do we do this? What if we want to do that? And so I had to eventually pay a coach, and I think it's worth it because they get you where you're trying to go. But again, if you can't afford it, everything is within the reason of where you are. Take it step by step, inch by inch, everything's essential.
Where's your location?
I'm on 105th and Western. All right.
About the inch by inch, everything's the same.
Everything. So feel
Any
free.
more questions? Any more questions? I just want to make sure before I, okay, good, go ahead.
All right, feel free to email me or text. You can text it. Actually, email me. That's better. And just put Urban League in the subject line. And what I'll do is I will email you back, and we'll set up a time, because there's a lot of y'all in here. So if everybody do it, we're gonna have to really work that out. But
Oh, you got a space?
it's gonna be 20 minutes. right. So I would definitely
Have your
say
questions ready.
have your stuff together and questions about what you want to do. And if you're not clear on your goals, that's the first thing you want to do. Get crystal clear on what your goals are. But did y'all want everybody to fly? Y'all got my information now, but
Okay, you know what we're gonna do, guys? We're gonna take our picture.